So, my friends, it is an absolute pleasure to be here. Warm welcome to World Kindness Day, a wonderful celebration. I'm Catherine Lovewell from Kind Mind Academy, and I am so happy to be creating this wonderful World Kindness Day celebration in collaboration with the amazing team from the Global Compassion Coalition. I'll hand over to Matt in a moment, but I'll just give you a little overview first of all as to the incredible event we've got lined up for you. So please do, if you're just arriving, keep popping in the chat where you're from, where you're tuning in from. It's always good to get a feel where you are in the world so we can connect. But before I go any further, I just want to give a very big shout out to a particular member of the Global Compassion team. She doesn't know I'm going to say this, but I would like to say a massive thank you to Rachel, who has been working really hard behind the scenes to pull together all the kindness strings to make this event very special. She's done an incredible job. And I really would love it if you are on camera, if you could just give her a big wave of thank you, because this event couldn't have happened without her and all of her hard work. So a massive thank you, Rachel.
Oh, thank you, Catherine, and just thank you everyone for being here. I'm really excited for this amazing event, so thank you.
Rachel's going to be nipping in and out. She'll be looking after the chat. She'll be introducing people, so you will see her again. But just to know, she's been the the driving force behind this event. So we've got an amazing event planned for you, packed with inspiration, connection, and of course, lots of kindness. Our lineup of speakers is nothing short of amazing. Each speaker is a standout expert in their field. We have the amazing Deborah Rosman, president of HeartMath, Professor Robin Banerjee, founder of the Sussex Centre for Research on Kindness. How perfect is that? We have the beautiful Natalia Levine, an amazing mindfulness and compassion expert in public and private health, and the wonderful Rosemary Watola-Troma. So we intend this to be a warm and inclusive, beautiful experience celebrating shared humanity. So please do pull up a chair, get yourself comfy, and let yourself really savor the kindness. Thank you so much for being part of this special gathering. Let's breathe together, relax together, celebrate kindness together. Here's to an uplifting and inspiring world of kindness. So handing over now to the wonderful Matt, Chief Compassion Champion of the Global Compassion Coalition.
I love that title. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you all so much for being here. Before I dive into just the few words that I was going to say, I do want to return the thanks that Catherine gave to Rachel. I want to echo those thanks to Rachel for putting on such a beautiful event. And thank you, Catherine, for being the phenomenal champion of kindness and compassion that you are, both in who you are and also in the work that you do in schools, which I think we're going to get to hear a little bit about later. So it's a pleasure and honor to do this event with you and to have all of you here with us for it. And it probably doesn't need me to say this, but I think that the response that we've seen in terms of the number of people who've been signing up for this event, which we were just discussing with our team before this event started, has been, we've had such a positive response and really brilliant videos, contributions sent in as well, messages of kindness, shows, I think, what we all feel, which is that desperate need for more of it in the world right now. Needless to say, some events recently have intensified that feeling for many people. All I'm going to touch on very briefly, I suppose, is the why. Why does this matter and how does it relate to compassion? Because those words are often used interchangeably. Some people see them as quite different and distinct. So I'm going to give you our kind of 90-second view, I suppose, which is that kindness is an essential way to display compassion. And what makes it particularly powerful is that it's available to all of us every day. So we are all feeling certain degrees probably of sense of anxiety, fear about the world, and wondering what we can do about it. And kindness is that tool that we have that can change somebody else's day, can change their view of the world for that day. And it is the activation of compassion in us and a way to really connect with others and to create that sense of humanity between two people to help someone else really feel seen, heard, and valued, which is what we all want. And it also can go beyond that. It can have ripple effects. This is stuff that people like Robin know all too well, and I'm sure could talk about much better than I can. But the research shows that when you offer an act of kindness to one person, they are likely to go off and offer 5 further acts of kindness to other people, and then to 5 others again. And you can see those ripples spread out. So if we want to start changing cultures and we want to start changing the way people see and feel about the world, we have that within our power through the acts of kindness that we do together. So I hope today that you just can feel some kindness from other people here and from the event that we're putting on. I hope you can go out and feel inspired and know that you can make a difference through the way you treat yourselves and others, and maybe get a few tips and tools along the way to keep your commitment to that kind of world that we are all seeking. But I will hand back now to Catherine to bring us in calmly and beautifully to this event today.
Thank you, Matt. All right, my lovelies, we thought it would be a very nice way to begin our celebration with coming inside, becoming a little bit more still, and to focus on the spirit of kindness in our hearts. Now, if you are comfortable with closing your eyes for a little meditation, please do. If not, just gently perhaps gaze downwards. And we'll just be focusing on the energy of giving and receiving kindness. So you may like to adjust your body so it feels supported. I invite you to take perhaps a gentle, deeper breath. And as you breathe out, perhaps letting go of the busyness of the day, if it's the tail end of your day. Just allowing the breath to help you arrive. You may like to place your hand or both hands over your heart to offer a gesture of kindness to your body and yourself. And maybe feel the warmth of your body and your breath softly moving in and out. And you can rest your hands at any time. And drawing your attention gently inward now. And as you breathe in, breathing in some kindness for yourself, that energy, that spirit of kindness. Maybe getting a felt sense of this kindness as it moves through your body as you breathe in. Your mind may offer pictures of kindness that you have received. Or you may simply get a felt sense of this kindness, a softening of your body, a warming. And gently spend a moment receiving this kindness. Filling yourself up. And with each in-breath, nourishing your whole being. Your heart, your mind, your body, filling up. Nourished and nurtured with kindness. You may like to imagine a warm light spreading throughout every cell in your body, scintillating with kindness now. And if you feel you have capacity, if you feel that your cup is full or maybe overflowing, that you are replenished with kindness for yourself, you may like to turn your attention to your out breath, that effortless out breath that moves gently through your body. And as you do, you may bring to mind people you know, and maybe people you don't know. Maybe strangers you'll never meet all over the world. And with your tender out breath, offering them warmth, friendliness, and kindness. Inviting every out breath to be a gift to others, a gift of kindness, the spirit of kindness. And as you breathe out, you may even like to imagine sharing this bright light, this warm, bright light of kindness around the world. Shining kindness on our planet and all people in our world. And so let our breathing rhythm move kindness from our hearts to others and come back to our hearts just as the ocean moves effortlessly in and out with the tides. Knowing that kindness is flowing between your heart and others. And as we draw this little practice to a close, knowing that at any time you can pause and breathe in kindness, stillness, love, peace, joy, friendliness inward for yourself if you need it, and gently out for others throughout our entire kindness celebration. So when you're ready, you may like to take one final deep, happy, joyful, kind breath in. And as you breathe out, softly opening your eyes and perhaps gazing on these beautiful humans here together, knowing that you have been a recipient of their love and kindness, and they of yours. Beautiful. So taking your time to return to our screens, take all the time you need. And I will just check that the lovely Deborah is with us. Fantastic. There she is. So as you prepare yourself to receive our first brilliant speaker, it's my absolute honor to introduce Deborah Rosman. She's the president and CEO of HeartMath in Boulder Creek, California. And she's a behavioral psychologist and has helped HeartMath's training programs develop ever since 1991 to facilitate a more resilient and heart-based world. There's so much more I could say about Deborah. I have had the pleasure of meeting her a few times through the GCC, and every time I meet her, I am deeply inspired. So I did put my hand up and said, can I introduce Deborah? You will absolutely love and feel deeply inspired, I know for sure, for everything she has to share with you. And just so you know, she taught me this little nugget. Compassion is one of the highest frequencies of love. And thus, this is why it's so important and essential for our global well-being. So I'm delighted to introduce the wonderful Deborah. Over to you. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much. And, you know, we, like everyone has said so far, kindness is what we all want and cherish. We want to feel it. We enjoy receiving it. And why is that? Because there is heart, there is care, there's the activation of compassion. It is a demonstration of love. And it's so simple. You can teach children, be kind. It's harder to teach them just go love everyone, but you can say be kind to everyone and show them how, because it's a physical or emotional act or verbal act. And it's almost like to expand love on the planet or compassion, we almost need this kindness coalition because it's the demonstration of heart and heart energy extended. And in that beautiful meditation, it was put your hand on your heart if you want to. And we feel feelings of love, compassion, kindness in the area of the heart. Why is that? And that's certainly been the research of HeartMath since 1991. How and why is the heart energy something that we feel here? We say, I love you with all my heart. We don't say, I love you with all my brain. And yet so much of society is about willpower and brain and mind. And look where it has gotten us in the world without enough heart. The mind is wonderful, but it needs to follow the core values and principles of the heart. And those core values and principles are about our interconnection, that we're really all connected. Therefore, treating each other as we'd want to be treated, loving our neighbor as ourselves, is all a principle of how the physics of reality works, because we all are connected. And the problem is we don't all know that we're connected. So we see this great division and separateness in the world. And we see that in extreme form in the last few months, especially. People are afraid of that. They're anxious about it. What does that mean? What trajectory is it taking us? But I'd like to offer another view. And the view I'd like to offer is that it's waking up more people to what isn't working, and it will continue to do so. And in our own personal lives, we know when there's no place else to go for answers, we tend to go deep in our heart. We take that walk in the woods or by the beach, really searching for meaning. And I believe and experience, it's not just a belief. I see that in our clients and what's happening throughout the world. People in stress and trauma are saying there's got to be something else. So I look at this as a momentum to take people deeper into the heart. And once they're connected with the heart, then kindness and compassion and care are qualities that emerge. They're natural to humanity. So whatever we can do to practice it, but also to realize the science, realize the momentum going on. There's a tremendous heart awakening happening on the planet. And a lot of it started years ago with random acts of kindness and pay it forward and things that open our heart and make us feel so good because we're expressing that and we want to feel that and want others to feel that. It is a low-hanging fruit to opening the heart and connection and realizing, having our brain mind realize the connectedness we all have with each other. And of course, HeartMath research, for those of you who may be familiar with it, is showing that when we are feeling genuine heart qualities like kindness, compassion, love, care, appreciation, gratitude, awe, respect, when we feel those as feelings, our heartbeat rhythm changes its pattern. It becomes very sine wave-like when we measure it, a coherent waveform. We call it heart coherence. It sends a different signal to the brain all the way to the frontal lobes, where we actually have more self-management, emotional regulation, compassion, empathy. We are more aware of that connection with each other. And when we're frustrated, stressed, anxious, worried, natural human emotions, when we feel fear or project fear, that signal in the heart rhythm pattern is very chaotic and irregular. It's the autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic and sympathetic, fighting each other. And it sends a signal to the brain of stress, and we go into a stress response, fight, flight, or fright. And it shuts down our higher order thinking and reasoning. So for the next level of human intelligence, we need to have this heart activation, this heart intelligence, as we call it, activated. And we need to have our heart and brain synchronized in these heart coherent rhythms to have coherent reasoning, coherent thinking, and bigger picture thinking, how we are all connected. And kindness is a doorway into that. And maybe one of the easiest doorways, just like we teach children to say please and thank you. Those are heart qualities we want them to feel and express. Kindness is in that same category. It's an easier access. So it takes practice, though. All of these heart qualities are not something we want just to happenstance, come and go. We want them to be nurturing ourselves and others and be a way of life, what we call heart-based living. And when we start to feel anxious or worried, how do we go to the heart and turn around those incoherent feelings? Not bad, but they don't activate our higher intelligence. How do we turn those around and bring them into coherence? And kindness to ourselves as a feeling, as an attitude, quickly turns around a lot of those feelings. At least opens up some intuitive guidance, what we call the heart's intuitive guidance, because you get a crack through the shutdown of cortical inhibition that happens when we feel anxious, to be able to see a little light, to see a little different, to be able to have an insight or an intuitive next step that can start to free us and lift us above what's going on, above it, not of it. And that's so important in these days of political, religious, social divisiveness, the media's divisiveness. But we have an energetic responsibility to learn how we can live in a new world of heart-based awareness, understanding it is the next level of intelligence for humanity. It is the next level of awareness. So everything we can do to move forward, step into kindness, step into compassion, step into care, isn't just sweet. It's actually a powerful step to our own self-empowerment and self-regulation and to others. Now, I heard there's research, but you mentioned that one act of kindness can create a ripple effect. So more people want to be kind, it opens the heart. It also has an energetic effect on the Earth's magnetic fields. This is part of the global coherence research being done at the HeartMath Institute, and it's quite exciting that as we put out coherent heart energy, care, compassion, kindness into the Earth's field, we are actually influencing people across the planet measured. Their heart rhythms are changing. So we can create not only a ripple effect, but a real field effect, global consciousness, energetic effect that can bring a lot of hope, that it doesn't need to be one person at a time or 5 people at a time, that as we collectively do this, we can really create outside of time and space a quantum effect and change global consciousness. And it's happening. It's already happening. We're measuring amazing things with the Global Consciousness Project 2.0 that gives so much inspiration and encouragement and encourages everybody, let's be part of this wave. Let's help love and compassion and heart go viral. That's our mission at HeartMath this next year and going forward. And we invite all of you to be part of that, to help love go viral. So today, as celebrating World Kindness Today, I think is so important as a launch for each individual in our own lives to go deep into our hearts and say, what do we each need to do to go to that next level of contributing to service of the planet, service of humanity, service to ourselves, our families, our workplaces. It's to activate those heart qualities. Remember to do it more often. Remember to replace judgment with compassion. Remember and remind yourself, put it in your Outlook calendar. I do. If you get triggered, pause, go to the heart, choose kindness for yourself and others, or compassion, or what would be one act of heart you could do to help turn that around and get back to your higher frontal lobe perceptions and free yourself from some of the collective anxiety that's going on. And as you do that, you help clear the field and help activate the field with the heart and with love. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share this. As you can tell, I am passionate about it because it's mission. And I invite all of you to connect with your own heart's mission. Because together we can create a tremendous shift on this planet, a new world within the old world. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah. That was really inspiring and empowering. And yeah, I think it's a good reminder, isn't it, that the kindness goes beyond just kind of the day-to-day acts. Like day-to-day acts go, there's a far reach, through seemingly small acts. So thank you. So I'm pleased to introduce our next speaker, who is Robin Banerjee, a professor of developmental psychology at the University of Sussex, whose research focuses on the social and emotional development of young people. And he closely works with practitioners and policymakers in education and mental health. and he founded the Sussex Centre for Kindness, for research on kindness, which focuses on illuminating the nature of kindness and its impacts on people and communities. And he also recently led the Kindness Test, which is a partnership with the BBC that became the world's largest ever public science project on kindness. So thank you so much for being here, Robin, and looking forward to hearing what you've got to share.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Happy World Kindness Day to everybody. And thank you, Catherine, for introducing the session. Thank you, Rachel, for the very generous introduction. And thank you, Deborah, for a really inspiring presentation and account just now. It really was an inspiring set of words. And I think we want to heed that real real compulsion that's in all of us to bring out the kindness that connects us together, because it is about human connection. I'm going to share some slides, and I hope that what I got to say today will just shed some light on how research is telling us about the role of kindness in terms of human connection. Let me just see if I can get that going. Okay, so this should work. Can I check, Rachel? Can everybody see that? Can you see that, Rachel?
Yep.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So I'm going to tell you about the research that we're doing on kindness and relationships and the connections with mental health and well-being. As Rachel said, my background is in psychology, and a big focus for me has been mental health and well-being. And I have to tell you, my professional background is in child and adolescent psychology. So I've particularly focused on the social and emotional development of children and young people. And it was really interesting to hear you talk, Deborah, because I think there's something really fundamental about this being relevant at every stage of the life course, from the very beginning, from young children all the way through the rest of their lives. This is relevant for each and every one of us throughout our life course. And I want to talk about mental health and well-being because that's my orientation. My whole career has been focused on how we can create a world that promotes mental health and well-being for all. And I wanted to make the point here that this is about what we do together. Kindness is all about connecting human beings. It's about the glue that connects people with each other. And this is absolutely fundamental to mental health and well-being. Social relationships are the foundation. And I wanted to remind you all how easy it is for us to lose sight of that, because in quite a strange way, it's very, very easy to think about mental health and well-being as if it's a property of an individual, as if it's a quality of one person, as if it resides inside a person's head. It's very easy for us to start talking about mental health and well-being as if it's just about individuals who've got issues. Which person has got a mental health difficulty? What are we going to do about that person? How can we fix that person? Well, what we know from decades and decades of research in psychology is that it's not just about what's inside one individual's head. The unit of analysis shouldn't be the person. It's the person embedded in the network of relationships. Relationships are what matters. And so often, the answer when you're dealing with mental health difficulties and challenges is not fix the individual, it's fix the environment. Let's work with the network of relationships. Let's find the strength there and then build mental health, create a positive environment to support mental health and well-being. And that's really the take-home message I'd want you to take away. I wanted to say that straight away. And actually, when you do that, when you realize that relationships are at the foundation of how we feel and how we get on in life, we realize that, of course, it's at the foundation of our motivation and our engagement in the world in every community setting, whether it's a school or a workplace or just at home with your family or out in the neighborhood. Kindness builds relationships which provide the platform for motivation and engagement. And you know what? It's also the platform for achievement as well. So please don't let anyone tell you that you've got to make a choice between either focusing on kindness and relationships and well-being, or focusing on productivity and achievement and performance, because that is completely false. The two go together. Kindness provides the context in which we connect with each other, and connecting with each other is fundamental to human beings being able to achieve and to perform to the best of their ability, and frankly, to be able to realize their potential. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about how kindness is seen in the literature. And you might be looking at this and thinking, really, kindness, academic study? Well, I'm here to tell you that kindness does deserve academic study. There's so much we still don't know about it. But actually, what we are learning from the research literature on kindness is that it's fundamentally important, because it's not just about the behavior. It's not just about doing something. It's about the intentional orientation that is there. What are we trying to achieve? And of course, the focus, as you can see from these definitions in the literature, is all about the stance that we take towards others, and indeed towards ourselves as well. Intentional behavior to benefit others, being compassionate, concerned about others. It's both the acts and the underlying motivations. And like I said, I'm a developmental psychologist. I've done a lot of work with kids, children, teenagers, young people going into university education and beyond. And when you work with children and teenagers, sometimes we get the real truth from the young people. And this was a study that we ran a number of years ago now. And my wonderful PhD student at the time, Jess Cotney, she and I worked on this, and we just carried out some focus groups with teenagers, and we asked them about their experiences. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure what we're going to get. I was a little bit worried at the beginning when we did this that teenagers would think, oh, it's just too trivial or it's too soft. Actually, I felt like I learned more about mental health in those group sessions with the teenagers than I did in countless other projects where I'd been focusing specifically on mental health. Teenagers told us in granular detail what kindness meant to them. And they told us it wasn't simple. It wasn't just about helping or just being nice. They told us sometimes it's really tough. Sometimes it's about being honest. Sometimes it's about forgiveness, about really, really difficult things. And sometimes something might be very, very difficult in the moment. In the short term, it might be really hard, but it might be the kindest thing overall in the long term. And something else that they said, kindness was important not just for the person receiving it. The benefits to well-being were there for the people giving it as well. And fast forward a little bit. Well, I founded a research center. University of Sussex is a very interdisciplinary space. We have researchers who work across lots of different subject boundaries. And what I found when I started talking about kindness in the context of children and teenagers was that people saying, actually, I can look at my specialist area through that lens, and it's really helpful. And you would be fascinated to know, actually, in the steering group of this research center, we have people in the medical school, people in social work, yes, people in education, like me, working in schools, but also people working in corporate world, in the business school, in politics, in law. This is the Interdisciplinary Research Center, which is designed to shine a light on the nature and importance of kindness and how it makes a difference for people and communities all over the world. Rachel, you very kindly, in your introductory remarks, referred to this project, the kindness test, which we ran in partnership with the BBC. It was absolutely fascinating. Claudia Hammond is a presenter on the BBC. She's also a Sussex alum, and she and I worked together, and we didn't know what we were going to get. Some people said, oh, general publics, they're not going to engage with this. Well, this turned out to be the most successful academic partnership that was run in this series of projects with the BBC. More than 60,000 people in the UK and all over the world took part in this. And we got so many insights from it. And I can't do justice to it, but I did want to just flag one thing, which was that the kids were right. Yes, of course, receiving kindness was linked to well-being. We found that out. People told us what a difference it made to them to experience kindness. And I'm not talking necessarily about huge acts of, massive self-sacrifice or extraordinary acts of generosity. Very often it was small things, the tiny things. The tiny things made a difference. Sometimes just a smile makes a difference. But you know what? The kids were right. It wasn't just about receiving acts of kindness, it was also giving acts of kindness. We found in our research giving acts of kindness was independently associated with higher levels of well being. And I'm going to add one more important dimension. It's this one: seeing kindness. I'm going to use another word: noticing kindness. That was independently associated with well-being over and above receiving and giving kindness. And I think it's so important for us to remember, because actually that's something every one of us can do, even if we're on our own. We can notice the kindness that there is in the world. Because I'll tell you what, that is incredibly affirming in terms of our faith in humanity, our faith in this planet. Deborah, you're talking about making love go viral, making kindness go viral. Well, one of the ways that we can do that is just to notice it. And sometimes people don't create the space to notice it because they feel that, oh, I'm too busy. The world is very difficult. There's so many problems in the world. And they're right. Turn on the news. There are so many problems in the world. And we do have to focus attention on that. But don't lose sight of the kindness, even the small acts of kindness, because this is what people told us in the project with the BBC, because this is what connects us with each other, and human beings get strength from each other. Bringing people together is fundamental. And what we found about kindness in that kindness test project with the BBC, with all those tens of thousands of people sharing their experiences, was that kindness connects people. And I just wanted to give you one example. I don't have time to go into it in detail, but one example, going back right back to my roots in my professional background. I'm doing a big project at the moment relating to government policy in the UK, focused on creating a whole school and college approach to mental health. Probably it's the same in many, many different countries. In the UK, we've been seeing a rising prevalence of mental health difficulties in children and young people in schools and colleges. And we're trying to work out how we can create an approach which isn't just about saying, let's find more and more clinicians and counselors and therapists to help those children and young people who've got problems. Because in some ways, that's very important, but it's a very limited approach, because all you're doing is putting a sticking plaster on the problem. You're still treating it as if it's a problem with the individual. We need to change our world. We need to change our culture. We need to change our ethos. And this is just to give you the recognition here that government policy is beginning to change. This is Public Health England talking about how can we create a whole school or college approach to support mental health. And this is the work that we've been doing. The Academic Health Sciences Network has funded this piece of work where we're actually looking at the really good practice that's out there already. And I wanted to just flag the thing that's down there on the bottom. This is not just about a clinician or a therapist seeing an individual child or young person. This is about multiple stakeholders working together in partnership. So I wanted to just make the point that this is what we can do if we look deeply into all of our settings. This is a digital toolkit that we have for schools and colleges to self-assess what they're doing in terms of a whole school and college approach. But I want to zoom out and think about every setting where people come together, whether that's in a community, neighborhood setting, whether it's in a workplace, wherever you are. What kind of an environment have you created together? And everyone has a role to play. And as I say, the first thing I'd want you to ask yourself is, are we taking the time to notice and celebrate the kindness that is there in every environment? It is there. We just need to take a moment to recognize it and bring it out, make it visible, and share it and treasure it and grow it. To me, this is fundamental to this question. Are the environments we're creating together supportive of our basic psychological needs, our basic needs to be empowered human beings, to feel that we're competent, that we can make a difference in the world, and to feel first and foremost that we are connected, that we're not just on our own. And this is, I just wanted to give you these couple of papers that we've published recently. I wanted to share here. These are studies that we've done focusing on participation in the creative arts, theater, music. What have we learned from that work? Well, what we've learned from that work is that these are some of the ingredients that make a difference to people's mental health and well-being and their relationships. Freedom of choice, exploration, validating competence. And that's not about wrapping people up in cotton wool and saying how wonderful you are. It's about doing that with appropriate challenge, because actually overcoming challenge is really important. And we need to give people the confidence that they can face challenges, they can face things that they are struggling with, that they're finding difficult, and come out the other side. That's really important. And most of all, it happens through building community, that it's not just an individual endeavor. And in today's world, it's so easy to compartmentalize and to imagine that we're just fighting our own individual battles and there's no one else there for us. We've got to reach out and make those connections. So I want to ask you this, in the same spirit as what Deborah said, can we make love and kindness go viral? Can we create a culture of compassion, empathy, and kindness, and celebrate it for the strength that it is? It's not a weakness, it's a strength. It's for the whole community. It's not just an individual. It's about giving space to be reflective, to be supportive to each other. It's important to recognize this point. It's not just about transmitting out to others. It's also about looking after ourselves. Don't let anyone else tell you that you've got to choose one or the other. The two go hand in hand. Compassion, empathy, and kindness to yourself as well as to other people. Give yourselves a break so that you can give others a break. It's about getting that shared perspective. And most of all, you're not doing this on your own. We're doing it together. We're doing it in partnership. And to me, that's what the GCC, the Global Compassion Coalition, is all about. Happy World Kindness Day, everybody. It's a pleasure to be joining you today.
Thank you so much, Robin. I've been such an admirer of the work that you've done at Sussex for so long. It's brilliant to share any opportunity to be on a platform with you where you're bringing that to light. And there's so many great insights. And you started out with one that I saw the chat kind of light up, where you were talking about this difficult, problematic focus on the individual and their mental health, and how it, excluding all the other factors that impact it. And like you said, that is exactly why the GCC exists, to look at those social structural issues. And this is leading me into introducing our next speaker, because I got to know Natalia not through her work, which I'll briefly describe in a minute, her paid work as an instructor in mindfulness, compassion, and many other areas, but in her role as a connector and as a coordinator for the Connectors program, the GCC's Connectors program, which I'll talk about a little bit later, in Chile. So Natalia is one of those people taking that work that she's done in the mindfulness and compassion space and really looking as well at communities and how we can create communities where kindness and compassion flourish. But I said I'd just tell you a little bit about Natalia. So Natalia is also, as well as being our coordinator in Chile, a certified instructor in many different mindfulness programs, which I won't list all of them. It's so many, Natalia, so impressive, and compassion programs. Also a yoga instructor with a trauma-sensitive approach, social worker, and master in couple and individual family psychotherapy, and has more than 19 years experience working in public and private health. So I'll hand over to you now, Natalia.
Thank you, Matt, and everyone. Thank you for the presentation. I'm going to share my screen. So wait a second. Please let me know if you see. Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm very happy and grateful to be here today to celebrate something as special as World Kindness Day. Something that has the power to transform our lives and our communities. I'm going to do my best to speak English, so I hope you understand. I'm here from Santiago de Chile. So I open with this phrase for Matthew Ricard that makes a lot of sense to me and tell us that compassion is the seed of kindness. When we connect with the suffer of others and respond with an open heart, we cultivate the kindness that is true human nature. So this day invite us to reflect on the power of the small gestures, those that may seem simple sometimes, but have a really deep impact because every smile, every kind word, every generous action counts. And the most beautiful thing of all, and the great news, is we can do it without being a great heroes to do some good. Sometimes a simple "How are you?" or a gesture of support at the right time can make all the difference in someone's life. Today, we come together to remember that kindness not only improves the lives of others, but also our lives, because when we are kind, we create a more compassionate world. Personally, my motivation is bring the practice of mindfulness and compassion to the communities. And for me, do these solidarity workshops and programs are like an act of kindness that nourish my heart. I'm going to share with you today some of the initiatives that I'm doing in my country, such a self-care workshop based on mindfulness, compassion, and lifestyle medicine for people with rheumatoid arthritis, made for the benefit of the El Salvador Public Hospital in Chile. The shelter workshop, self-care strategies based on mindfulness and compassion for companions of parents and families in perinatal grief, made for the benefit of Amparo's Foundation in Chile. Mindfulness and Emotional Balance Program, MBB, for oncological health professionals, made for the benefits of Care Foundation in Chile. Each of these workshops and solidarity programs is strong my motivation to contribute to the construction of a more compassionate world, where kindness becomes the motor engine of change. We try to cultivate well-being, demonstrating that kindness in all its forms has the power to heal and transform lives. We can create together a more human and compassionate world. I would like to share with you the parable of the hummingbird. It's a short but profound story that illustrates the importance of the taking action, even if it seems that our actions are small. In the story, a hummingbird tried to put out a forest fire, but flying toward the fire and carrying water droplets in its beak. The other animal watched and mocked, saying that the hummingbird's effort is useless because the fire is too big. However, the hummingbird responds, "I'm doing what I can." In this story, teach us that all action, even the small one, they have value if they are done with a purpose and with the heart in the right place. So reflect the value of each individual effort to improve the world. In Kindness Day, invite us to be like that hummingbird, acting with kindness and compassion, no matter how small or big our action. A smile, a hug, or listen with a heart are everyday act of kindness that could have a profound impact in the daily life of those around us. Because every act of kindness, no matter what it, have a positive impact. Like this beautiful phrase by Maya Angelou says, I have learned that people will forget what you said. People forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So that could be an invitation to remember in everyday life, we can do something. World Kindness Day is a powerful reminder that everyone has the potential to make a world a better place. By celebrating this day, we not only honor kindness as an essential human value, but we also inspire others to join this cause. So before saying goodbye, I invite you to take a breath together, adjusting your posture in the chair. Close your eyes if that is okay for you. And if it's not, simply rest your eyes toward the floor. Take 2 deep breaths. Inhale for your nose. Exhale for your mouth. Inhale for your nose. Exhale for your mouth. And now bring your attention to the natural flow of your breathing. Bring your hand near to your heart and connect with that feeling of warmth. I invite you to bring the gesture of a little smile on your face and offer it to each other and receive it with a feeling of gratitude, of being here, cultivating kindness. In the next inhalation, we open our eyes, we look at each other, and we welcome back. Thank you very much for your presence, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Natalia. I'm waiting to find words. That was a lovely completion to bring that kindness back in to our bodies. That was just beautiful. I love the parable of the hummingbird. That was amazing. And to know that kindness has the power to heal. Just tremendous. Thank you. That was absolutely wonderful. And I thoroughly enjoyed your accent. So your English was amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And hopefully you've all really enjoyed that wonderful closing, that the body is really relaxed and open and calmer. This is the magic of sharing, I think, the resonance of kindness. And now we have a few more amazing messages of kindness that have been sent in, recorded to share with the world. So I'll hand over to the magic of Luke, who will hopefully share these incredible kindness messages now.
Hi everyone. I wish us all to replace fear with love. Our actions would be so different. Our compassion would be there, and the world would be a better place, and our lives would be happier. No, not so much need for competition, more cooperation. more calm, more good health. I wish us all that.
Hello everybody, my name is Loic Shimmer, and when I hear the word kindness, it's a state by which each and everybody is treated in the way that he or she might be treated. And I reflect on the time when kindness was blacklisted to me, especially when I reached Mahema refugee camp, seeing different charity organizations and other NGOs trying to help young refugees in Mahama refugee camp so they can sustain their life. I really just encourage everyone to have the heart to solve his or her community, to have a kindness, empathy as well. Yes, this would direct us to build the world that we want. Yes, that's what I hear and understand about a kindness. And when everybody, including individuals, organizations, and the nations in the world, take care of and take part in kindness, this would cause the world to be a better place that everybody can wish to live.
Have you been kind today? Let's spread love around the world. Give a little love. It's for free.
Kindness is hope, it's offering people hope. Like recently there is a lot of mental health illnesses. People are sick out here, so being kind is the best remedy that you can give somebody. Being compassionate, being empathetic with their story, and giving them hope.
My friends across the world, I'm wishing you kind thoughts and encouragement in your efforts at building kindness in our world. I'm calling from Medina, New York, in the heart of the United States, where we are trying to keep kindness on the agenda of the democracy that we're trying to build in our country. We know we have a long way to go, but we are your sisters and brothers in this life and on our Mother Earth. Blessings to you.
It's important never to give up despite many ups and downs we go through when we are in despair. Life is worth living. You are here for a reason. From my heart to yours, I'm sending you love, joy, happiness, and a basket full of kindness. Keep faith, everyone. May you have a beautiful day.
There is a quote from Leo Buscaglia that I love. Too often we underestimate a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the ability to turn a life around.
You are full of treasures. So your unique gifts and strengths and passions, the things that light you up. And when you can give in a way that harnesses those things within you, then that's kindness in a way that's really nourishing and energizing for you. So enjoy sharing your treasures.
There is power in your smile. Your smile can brighten someone's day and keep those dark thoughts away, even just for a while. There is beauty in your smile. All smiles are beautiful, no exceptions. There is magic in your smile, a magic of joy and purity, your essence shining through, and all you need to be is you. There is power in your smile.
Having enjoyed more than 3 decades of hospitality, warmth, and generosity of the Mozambican people, today I'd like to express my sincere wish for the country, for the peoples, for the leaders to resolve the present electoral, social, and economic crisis with wisdom, with compassion, in the spirit of
Ubuntu, in the spirit of love and looking forward to a just and balanced living together.
Kindness makes a community warm, whether there is heat or frost. It is a way of being in the world, sharing an authentic smile to connect, and listening to understand, and responding with genuine interest and care, as we are generous with our time and resources, and identify and offer our personal strengths and gifts with compassion, with hopes to alleviate suffering and open spaces for more joy in communities close and far.
I wish all living beings in this world to feel safe and protected, and to live with ease.
Hang in there, better things are coming. Every experience, every moment in life where there's tension or frustration or sadness or hurt is simply because more love is wanted and there's room for it. So whether you're the person who's needing more love, or the other person is needing more love, or the situation is needing more love, when you become aware of that, you can offer that. Everything in the world can be a little less hard with a little bit more tenderness. And that starts with loving you. Blessings.
How beautiful were they?
That was.
So let's just take a moment to really breathe those in and receive the magic of those wonderful messages.
Thank you so much to everyone for taking the time to share those messages. Let us know what you think in the chat. And yeah, I think it's important to remind ourselves that, you know, there's actually more good in the world than maybe what we see on the news. So thank you. And I know some of you submitted a video that wasn't in that video, so we had to just because of time, but there will be we'll be sharing the other videos on our social media. So thank you again for everyone who sent some. So we've got another heart opener for you before we send you off into breakout rooms. So I'm pleased to introduce our next speaker, who is Rosemary. Hi Rosemary. So Rosemary Watola Trommer is a poet, a teacher, a speaker and a writing facilitator, and her poems have been featured in PBS NewsHour, O Magazine, American Life and Poetry and Carnegie Hall, among others. And in January 2024, Rosemary became the first poet laureate of a non-profit called Evermore, helping others to explore grief, bereavement, and love through poetry. And her 3-word mantra is, I'm still learning, which I love. Thank you, Rosemary. Over to you.
Thank you, Rachel, and happy World Kindness Day, everyone. I'm going to share a poem, and then we're going to write a poem together. So first, just listening. And I find that it helps to imagine I'm listening with my whole body, not just with my ears. Sometimes I do that better with my eyes closed, but you'll know what works for you. But imagine this poem is just like a blanket landing on you. Because so I can't save the world. I can't save even myself. I can't wrap my arms around every frightened child, can't foster peace among nations, can't bring love to all who feel unlovable. So I practice opening my heart right here in this room and being gentle with my insufficiency. I practice walking down the street heart first. And If it is insufficient to share love, I will practice loving anyway. I want to converse about truth, about trust. I want to invite compassion into every interaction. One willing heart can't stop a war. One willing heart can't feed all the hungry. And sometimes, daunted by a task too big, I ask myself, what's the use of trying? But today, the invitation is clear to be ridiculously courageous with love, to open the heart like a lilac in May, knowing freeze is possible, and opening anyway, to take love seriously, to give love wildly, to race up to the world as if I were a puppy, adoring and unjaded, stumbling on my own exuberance, to feel the shock of indifference, anger, cruelty, fear, and stay open to love as if it matters, as if the world depends on it. Oh, friends, to love as if the world depends on it, which we've certainly heard is exactly every speaker so far has showed us all the ways that the world does depend on these acts of kindness, even the smallest ones, as Natalia was saying. How do we create this global viral love? We're going to practice it right now together by creating a poem, and it's going to be the kind of poem where the rubber hits the road, where we're going to really look at what are some of these little acts of kindness that we could be doing, knowing the world depends on it. So in the chat bar, I've put a little prompt. It's just like a Mad Lib. You're just going to fill in the blank, and here's the blank. Today, I, as if it matters, as if the world depends on it. And you can fill in this blank with any act of kindness, right? Today, I peel the cucumber for my daughter. Today, I open the door for a stranger as if it matters, as if the world depends on it. Today, I smile at the banker, or today, I forgive myself. So I'm going to invite you to just put in the chat bar, how would you fill in this blank? And we're going to just in this moment create a very spontaneous group poem. And once you have added your little piece to the chat bar, then just listen and I will read them out loud and create this spontaneous poem for us. Today, I meditate for 45 minutes, as if it matters. I laugh out loud. I scatter birdseed among autumn leaves and hug my cats. Today, I listen intently, as if the world depends on it. I hug my grumpy teenager and cook a meal for a friend. I breathe love into the sky. Today, I remember what's important and let someone merge on the highway. I smile as if the world depends on it. I breathe deeply. I smile at my partner. I listen with every bit of me. I notice the abundance of kindness around me and express gratitude as if it matters. I let another person come into my lane in hectic traffic and totally deplete my road rage as if it matters. I lower my rage and smile at you with hope and courage and chop vegetables and carry my cat's mole outside to the garden. I ask someone, how are you? And mean it. Today I save a baby bird and drive him to a rescue center as if it matters. I hug my men's group friends as if the world depends on it. I fill a vase with roses and send warmth to everyone and visit a woman who is very difficult to be around and wishes she was no longer alive. I invite Donna to a compassionate listening with others to connect and hug my husband just because it matters. I text my friend, I spread love to everyone and console my neighbor who has just left her dying husband. I walk the dog and bake an apple upside down cake with caramel glaze and participate in an interfaith service for unhoused individuals, and they smile. I take care of myself as if it matters. I sing, "Let there be peace on earth" with the radiance of my soul, as if it matters. And I smile at Gav as if he'd never seen one and needed it, and laugh at the raven and it laughed back. I send loving kindness to all the people in the world, as if the world depends on it. I ignored the naked facts and made greeting cards to help people smile. I explode into shimmering crystals and indulge in the luxury of golden idleness. I laugh with the kids playing on the playground. I reach out to a friend in mourning and pray for everyone's inner peace, as if it matters, as if the world depends on it. Oh, friends, that was gorgeous. Thank you. I'm going to just point out that this is always possible. It's really fun to do with other people, isn't it? Because here it is. These are the relationships. I think that Robin was talking about. This is how do we create something together? But you can do this all by yourself. Just make a little list of the things that you do. At the end of the day, what were the things that you notice you did as if they mattered, as if the whole world depended on it? And in this way, we do end up with this viral love. In this way, we do start to see the acts of kindness and create that sense of well-being. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosemary. That was absolutely beautiful. All right. So thank you everyone for participating in that. That was delightful to read all your comments. So just to name that we are running slightly over time. So if you do have to jump off, we understand, and don't worry, you'll be sent the recording. But we do want to just give you an opportunity to connect with one another in breakout rooms. So we'll send you off into little rooms of about 3 to 4 people. And we're inviting you to reflect and share on a prompt, a simple one, maybe. What does it feel like to receive kindness?
So I'm back with my lovely group. Hopefully, we've got a smaller group now compared to when we arrived. Have you opened the doors, Rachel, for people to share? I, 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 I think I came back a bit later.
Yeah, I've just invited people to share in the chat. Yeah, if anyone else wants to unmute.
Beautiful. I don't know about you, but my experience with my lovely group was just so heartwarming. Lovely Bob was talking about, being seen and recognized, and this connection of how when we are kind and receive this kindness, that there's a sort of validation about us as human beings, which I thought was really quite profound, and reaffirming the essential goodness that is in the world. And something that both Caritas and I both agreed on was the power of Rob sharing that it cuts through the noise that distracts us from focusing on the kindness, on the goodness. So yeah, really beautiful. So that was my wonderful group. Would anyone else like to share their experience? Rosalind from Somerset. Welcome, my love.
Oh, it was beautiful. We shared with Santo from Mozambique and Maxine from USA. And I just felt such a kindness and warmth and radiating from them. It was so beautiful. And I wanted to ask Santo if he's all right because he's in another country. But thank you. I want to just thank you. It was so beautiful being with you.
Thank you, Rosalind. We all, I think, probably agree, especially those of us that are still here live, that this opportunity to connect as human beings. I know Robin was sharing a lot about the power of this connection. This kindness brings that deep connection, and how we need it, this social connection, and how it positively impacts us. So thank you so much, Rosalind. Anyone else? So everyone on the chat saying it was so nice to connect with other people in the breakout room, beautiful to connect with friends. And there's something curious, isn't there, that I don't think would have happened a few years ago, that coming together online, you think, oh, how can you feel connected? There's all these little faces in little boxes. But my experience over the years now is that there is a profound, deep connection. And I'm sure Deborah would probably have some quantum physics magic to share with us, that it's all possible. We are quantumly entangled or something. But I certainly feel the love, and I deeply moved by Rosemary's creation on the spot, all the love and kindness that poured through her poem from everybody. It was absolutely exquisite, Rosemary. Thank you so much. Really, really heart opening, heartbreaking, heart opening. It was incredible. Anything else before we draw our reflections to a close? May Hastings says, I didn't know how I'd feel about the breakout room. I know sometimes it can be a bit nerve-wracking, can't it? But it was great. Oh, I'm so glad. That's really good. And Dawn's saying it was so amazing to connect with souls on the other side of our planet. That blows my mind. It really does. I agree. It's absolutely magic, isn't it? Doesn't matter where we are, as long as the time zone's fairly kind, we can all be together, which is incredible. Penny says, I usually run away so fast from breakout rooms, but ours was great fun. Lovely. I don't think we can underestimate the power of kindness to have more fun, and to have more fun to bring in more kindness. So that's brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. A great opportunity to meet kind minds. Yeah, like minds. And Evalina is saying, I appreciate the value of the sessions. Me too. Beautiful. All right. Well, Alaka is saying, had a great time with my circle. I think we have a good news. My circle has birthed a kindness circle. We agreed I'd share my number for us to connect further. Magic. And this is what it's all about. So please do join that kindness circle. We can't have too many of them. Thank you, Ualaka, for sharing that. And Vinay is saying, as Winston Churchill like to say, thank you, and then thank you again.
Thank you so
beautiful.
much. Thank you so much. That's Owalaka. Just walking along the road under the cool environment, and in Nigeria right now, and it's 10 past 9 p.m. in the evening, and I'm really enjoying this. This has made my day. It has strengthened me. It has uncovered me. It has kind of awakened me further. It has opened my consciousness more to what it means, what it can be, and that we can do it. We can make it happen. So I'm really inspired. I'm so thankful to all who has made this gathering possible. This is a great gathering. This is a great gathering. You may not understand. This is a great gathering of great souls, sincerely speaking. So I'm happy my circle was great, and I believe so strongly that we have bettered the kindness circle, a universal circle as instituted by GCC. It trickles from the universal down to the local. So this has bettered the great, and it's going to bet more. I celebrate you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alaka from Nigeria. What wonderful words. We just had an additional bonus speaker inspiring us, filling our hearts with love and inspiration. Yes, let us have a universal circle. Thank you. And I can imagine you walking along the road in the warm evening. I really appreciate you sharing. Amazing. Absolutely beautiful. You've made our night now, or our day, depending where you are in the world. Thank you so much. So wonderful to hear your voice.
I'm in Nigeria.
Beautiful.
I'm in Nigeria.
It's probably a bit warmer than where I am in England.
Exactly, probably.
Thank you so much. All right, my lovelies. Well, we are a little bit over time, but I hope those extra minutes of kindness have been a contribution and a value. We'd really love to hear how you've enjoyed the event and what your experience of the event has been. You can send them over to the GCC or over to Kind Mind Academy. We share the info. It's been an absolute wonder to spend time with you. And we just wanted to close celebrating kindness just by offering you opportunities on where you can take your beautiful heart and what you can do perhaps to deepen your kindness practice, your self-compassion practice, which is my passion, and how you might like to get involved with the Global Compassion Coalition as well. So I'm very simply going to say that, Joel, if you could pop my little slide up, if you want to find out about mindful self-compassion, if you want to find out about, I'll show you my friends here. This is Crusher and this is Booster. We don't really have a lot of time to talk about these chaps, but they are going to change school education. So I'm hoping to talk to Robin more about the Booster Way. So this is all based on my children's book, The Voices in My Head. And we're looking to help children, families, educators to really focus on how we can start inside with that kindness and compassion, cultivate a kinder voice inside so that you can live a much happier life. So do drop me a line if you want to know more. kindmindacademy.com. If you go to the homepage, scroll down, you'll find these 3 images. The lotus is inviting you to learn mindful self-compassion. We've got a beautiful course starting in January over 3 weekends. The center silhouette is a program called Compassionate Body, which is specifically for women wanting to learn more about making friends and bring more kindness to their bodies. And of course, we have Booster here with the children. And you can click on that link to find out more about the Booster Way. We'll be launching some incredible opportunities. We're doing a pilot program in schools at the moment, and we want to share it with all parents, all families, so that we can empower everyone to have a unified language of kindness and compassion inside their own head and in their communities. So that's more than enough for me, because I know we're a little over time. I'll hand over to the lovely Matt to close. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Catherine. And yes, a huge thanks to everyone for all the contributions, the chats, the messages, the videos that were shared. Massive thank you to Rachel for pulling all this beautiful components of this event together. Catherine, fantastic hosting. Alex and Joel, who've been in the background helping us to organize, and all our wonderful speakers for the contributions you made. This will be very short. If you are looking to do more through the GCC, and I know that many people are feeling like, oh, I just want to get started with something but not quite sure where, I had 3 suggestions. If you are looking to join with others or help others in cultivating their own sense of compassion and kind of entering into that compassionate space, have a look on our website for compassion circles. We're offering training at the moment to become a circles host. If you are thinking maybe I'm a bit more minded towards action and organizing in your community, become a compassion connector. You've actually heard from 2 of them today, Natalia and Ualaka, who are both national coordinators for connectors in their countries. And perhaps you're intrigued about how you might use compassion for tackling particular issues or big topics in the world. And we have a topics section as well on our website, and you can sign up there for updates on new research and ideas, practical applications of compassion to topics from climate change to inequality to who knows what. It keeps growing. So that's enough from me, though, and I will just hand over to Rachel to do the final closing. So, Rachel.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, just thank you everyone for coming. Sorry that we went over a little bit, but I hope you found it, worth staying. Thank you so much to everyone for staying on. And yeah, just keep allowing yourself to feel kindness towards yourself first of all, and finding those small ways every day to kind of pay it forward. But if everyone would like to say goodbye, just feel free to open your mic and just say bye, and we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Happy
Peace to
World Kindness
everybody.
Day.
Shalom.
Bye-bye.
Never find X.
Okay.
Bye.